One character who has kind of somewhat had Annie's back since the beginning is Igor. Now, let me just preface by saying that Igor is not innocent, and I do not all around like him either, because he's not a good guy or a bad guy. He's just an airhead who follows orders and can't think critically or get a real job. And I cannot forgive him for literally tying Annie down, even if that was the orders that he was given and he wasn't really trying to hurt her. Nonetheless, his character has always been the only one to show Annie any compassion. He apologizes for tying her up, something that none of the rest of the men did. He brings a scarf in case she gets cold. On the plane back from Vegas, he puts his jacket over her. And I forgot to mention, but Igor also told Yvonne's family that he should apologize for everything Annie got put through for the weekend. And finally, when he drops her back at her home in Brooklyn, he returns to her engagement ring that Toro stole. After he does this kind gesture, Annie proceeds to try and have sex with him. Although when he tries to kiss her, an expression of affection, she breaks down in his arms. The way I interpreted this scene is that Annie, all she's ever known is transaction. She's never experienced genuine kindness, care, or love. We know that her family life is difficult just in the subtleties of the film. When she comes home in the beginning of the film, her sister and her don't really have much of a relationship. Annie's just in and out of home. She's clearly just making money and bringing it to the table. When Yvonne asks her about her family, she mentions that her mom is in Miami with her man, literally nowhere nearby. And so I think that she believes that whenever somebody gives her something or shows her any form of kindness, she's got to give them something back. And so with Igor, she believes that she owes him something for returning her ring, and the only thing that she can give him is sex. When she realizes that he actually has a liking for her, she can't contain the pain inside from the tragic weekend that she just had. All her guards just come down. We see her for the fragile, vulnerable woman that she is. It becomes clear to viewers how horrifically Annie has been treated throughout this past weekend. It's not that she doesn't get to stay married to this rich man who could have granted her a life that she could only dream of that's devastating for her. It's the fact that she had no say in it at all. Had she known that Yvonne was not going to actually seriously get married to her, she wouldn't have agreed to sign legal papers to be his wife. But she was played into the situation, and then she was forced to find him, forced to fly back to Vegas, forced to sign annulment papers. Not once was she able to make an active choice for herself. When she's at the strip club, when she's doing her work, she can set her boundaries, she can set her price, and she can walk out of a situation whenever she wants to. But in the situation with Yvonne, she was used as an escort without her knowledge. Once she signed those marriage papers, she thought she was about to be someone's wife, but really she was continuously being used without her knowledge and ultimately taken advantage of. She was being used as a service without her own knowledge. And that is not consensual. That was not a transaction that she agreed to. The Cinderella story that she thought she was about to live was really just a weak attempt by a bored rich kid to keep himself from going back to Russia to work for his family.